Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for our beloved Alex Milligan.
Yeah, guys, I got a bit of a throat problem going on, so I have my tea and I got my water. Does anyone need a little bit of a stretch break? I know you guys have been sitting down for a while. Feel free to just like stand up, loosen up a little bit. I know I might need it a bit. Yeah, get in there, Cam, get in there. A couple comments. So Jeff, phenomenal speech. I don't know if you're still here. Dude is incredible. What he's doing with the research initiative is seriously awesome, and there's no way I'm going to be able to follow up Jeff because of how awesome he is. But I'll make sure you hear me, even though I'm not as awesome. In any case, also shout out to Mona's father for holding up what I thought was a Hershey bar for the entire portion of her speech, but it's really just the outside of his phone case. In any case, guys, I know Mona already gave some thanks out. Revel team, Lulu, Heather, Dawn, Jacoby, seriously, thank you for helping put this on and like lead the whole thing, seriously. Incredible. These women, everyone a part of this organization are fantastic. Can't wait to do some more events with you. Thank you to the sponsors and supporters that are here. Seriously, we feel like we've been welcomed with just such open arms and positive energy. And thank you to all of you for showing up and being here to learn about cannabis and celebrate the fact that this market is expanding and opening up to more and more people. We frankly could not be more excited to be here with Nugg, and I'm of course going to tell you a little bit about what we do. Before I do that, and before I get to why we're here in New York and the impact that we hope to have, I want to tell you a little bit about the Nugg story. And I'll try and be brief. I know we've been here a long time. But like any great story, ours starts at an alcohol-stained, testosterone-filled fraternity house at the University of Southern California, specifically 742 West 28th Street in Los Angeles. This is where I met my incredible co-founders, Babazade and Collin Mann, who couldn't be with us here today. We quickly became friends. Obviously, we went through college and had a great time together. But what we realized was we had so much more in common than just wanting to have a good time. We realized that we all had a shared interest in wanting to create something and wanting to create a purpose-driven, meaningful life for ourselves and put stuff out there into the world that we hoped people would love and find value in themselves. And so from an early age, we knew we didn't want to just go through college and party and go on dates, although we did some of that. But we knew we had to create for ourselves what was going to be a skill set, a mindset, and hopefully some money to eventually do something big and take a chance and essentially be entrepreneurs. And I really don't like that word too much because it comes loaded with all these different stereotypes and preconceptions. And I can tell you from personal experience, man, we have gone through whatever this entrepreneurship thing is, and it's a wild ride and it's a whole lot of fun, but it's hard to really put that into a box. In any case, what we started doing early on in our college career, about end of sophomore year, was we noticed Uber and Lyft coming onto the scene in Los Angeles and just totally revolutionizing the way that you got from point A to point B. I mean, I'm sure we've all used it, pull up a smartphone, get a Lyft or an Uber driver, go wherever you want. And what we recognized was that this was going to be huge and was probably an opportunity for us to make some money. We knew that the college demographic was going to be something that these companies targeted immensely. And so what we did was we went to Lyft, we went to their management team, and said, hey, we have access to tens of thousands of college kids at USC, but then hundreds of thousands, if not millions, across the United States because of our network and the ability to tap into online communities, so on and so forth. And so we asked them, can you pay us a commission if we bring you new users? The bottom line is they said yes. These guys were tiny. They were trying to compete with Uber at the time. They were willing to pay for results. And that's exactly what we did. Excuse me. Over the course of the next 12 to 15 months, we recruited 40,000 new customers for Lyft. Me, Cam, and Collin exhausted every possible online, offline marketing tactic we could possibly think of. We had a team of 3,000 brand ambassadors working under us all across the country, students who would get a portion of our cash commission for every customer that they brought to Lyft. The bottom line is we made a nice chunk of change as juniors in college, and instead of squandering it, instead of blowing this on, crashing yachts together or going on Euro travel trips or anything like that, we realized we were in a unique position to take this leap of faith, to take this chance and create something ourselves. We were young, hungry, ready to just take a risk. So we started asking ourselves, what is that risk going to be? And like business school teaches you, and we've learned over and over and over again, you need to solve a significant problem if you want to create something that an organization can thrive from. And so we looked at our lives, and we came to a set of criteria around, what is this problem going to be that we're ultimately going to solve? And the criteria included that we had to have this problem ourselves, that it had to be something that afflicted a lot of other people. The solution to this problem had to be something that dramatically changed people's lives. Not talking incremental or marginal improvements. This had to be something that, in dramatic fashion, made someone's life better and improved their life. It had to be in an industry that was growing, not slowing. The solution, I've already got to that point. And most importantly, it was something that we wanted to just be passionate about and wanted to have fun doing for years and years and years to come. Now, given that we're all here, I assume we can all guess what we decided to start, and that was the corn dog Cannon 9000, capable of firing off 7 corn dogs a second to stadiums all around the world. Yeah, I didn't actually test that one on anyone before this, so duly noted, not that good of a joke. Can't live up to Jeff, but I tried. In any case, we landed on cannabis. And for multiple reasons. Cam and I had been going to dispensaries in college for years and realized just what a shit show of an experience this was to walk in somewhere, wait in line for anywhere from 5 to 55 minutes to talk to someone who literally is supposed to be able to tell you what cannabis does and cannot do that. They're recording your transaction on pen and paper. And so we knew there was a problem there, but even more than that, we had friends and family members who were legitimately using cannabis to treat debilitating conditions. Cam's grandmother had back surgery and was addicted to opioids for 10 years and started using cannabis and got off of them and got her life back. His mom started using cannabis shortly thereafter. Yeah, seriously, these stories, you can't make them up, and they're super real and they're everywhere. In any case, we had found our niche. We knew this was something we were passionate about. There's obvious opportunity. Colorado and Alaska had just legalized. So we were ready to jump in head first. And we knew what the problem was that we wanted to solve. It was as simple as increasing access to cannabis. And that's where we started, and obviously it's evolved over time. And from here, what I want to do is tell you exactly how our product and our offerings have evolved and the stages that they've gone through. The most important thing I want to point out before going through these different stages is that they've all come down to a core philosophy that's been part of our business since day one, and that's to listen to our customers, and that's to listen to them intently and have conversations with them as frequently as possible and through any medium we possibly can. And so as I've mentioned, the very first problem, or the very first realization we had was that we were hearing from friends, family, and ultimately strangers when we went into dispensaries that access to cannabis was really, really difficult. As much as people wanted to use it, as much as the stigma was dissipating, actually going through the process of getting cannabis was strenuous. So the first thing we did was we created an online marketplace. We modeled this after Grubhub, who would connect local restaurants with hungry diners, make it super easy to order online and get delivery. We thought that shit was awesome. We wanted to do the same thing for the cannabis space. And so I'm not going to go through the nitty-gritty of how we got to the point of actually having a product in hand. We flushed $50,000 down the toilet, ended up having to hire a developer that ended up running away with our code. Just all sorts of crappy things that every startup ultimately goes through. But the bottom line is we got a product out there, and people started really appreciating what we were doing for them. And I'll take a step back here and note one thing, that Grubhub and many other marketplaces, they're generic. They're just connecting buyers and sellers, but the cannabis space is fundamentally different in that, especially in California at the time, and frankly, even to this day, you can go to one dispensary and have an 8 out of 10 experience. You can go to another and have a 2 out of 10. and you're going to have everything in between, and you really have no ability to predict whether you're going to get a good experience when you go in, talk to a bug tender, or whether you call and order delivery. So what we realized we needed to do was create a curated, vetted marketplace where we were the ones to decide who would stay on the platform, and so that we could ensure no matter which dispensary you decided to order from through our site, you were guaranteed to get a consistent and positive experience. And I'm seeing I got some time here, so I'm going to kind of try and rapidly go through here. So moving from the marketplace, we found, I've missed these slides. Curated delivery marketplace. Listening again to our, so we started getting traction, right? We started getting customers, we were growing, but we realized, we're not growing fast enough. What are we going to do? And then frankly, our customers just handed us the solution on a silver platter. We were getting hundreds, if not thousands of people a month coming to us saying, this is great that you guys give me easy access to delivery and easy access to reliable dispensaries, but I have another problem, and it's something we had totally missed from the beginning, and that's that I need to get a doctor's recommendation, or if I'm already in the market, I need to renew it. And I'll remind everyone here that California was still a medical-only market at the time. And going to a doctor ended up being just like the sketchy, arduous process where you end up being face-to-face with someone who really didn't give a shit about your curiosities, questions, concerns about cannabis whatsoever, much less give you the tools or the resources to have a good experience with it. So what we needed to do, and what we quickly realized, was we need to do the same thing as we did with the marketplace. We need to vet and curate a list of reliable doctors for people to be able to actually have a comfortable entryway into the cannabis market. So it's exactly what we did. We started phoning doctors ourselves, booking appointments for our customers totally free of charge. Ultimately, we created an online platform where it was intended to just book an appointment with an in-person doctor. Babazade, I'm pretty sure it was. Honestly, everything's happened so fast, it's hard to remember. Discovered that California actually allows for telemedicine, as does New York, which lets a doctor and a patient come together over live video conference to do whatever the consultation is that they're trying to do. Nothing in the law said this couldn't be done for cannabis, yet we looked everywhere and no one was doing it, and frankly, we couldn't believe it. But we decided to take a chance, and we started Nugg NuggMD, which today is the nation's leading telemedicine platform for medical cannabis. And what it allows you to do is what I just described. Just video chat with a doctor, you upload your medical records, to take a questionnaire, and you're face-to-face with a doctor to get approved for medical cannabis or learn if it's not right for you. In any case, what Nugg NuggMD did for us was propelled our company in a way that I can hardly even begin to describe, because people saw this as not just a 10x, but 100x better product and experience than what they were dealing with before. 1 out of every 2 Nugg NuggMD patients ended up referring a friend or family member within 7 days of finishing Nugg NuggMD. So as Nugg NuggMD grew, our marketplace grew as well. And to this day, we haven't taken a single dime of outside investment. We've been able to hold onto our vision, bootstrap this company since day one, and frankly, it's all because of our customers. It's because we listen to them, and it's because we continue to try and find ways to deliver value to them. And over the course of the last 2 years, as Nugg and Nugg NuggMD really took hold and became our bread and butter, something really significant became apparent to us, and it was that while we were creating the end-to-end solution for getting access to cannabis products, we were missing the biggest part of the entire picture. And that's that access to cannabis information is fundamentally, or rather convenient access to reliable information is fundamentally non-existent in this industry. As I'm sure a lot of us know, you can go onto Google and you can type in a question and you can get an answer, but there's no way to trust whether the source that you're getting your cannabis info from is actually reliable. The reality is this entire industry is booming right now, and anyone's trying to make a buck, anyone is trying to get customers into the door. So we have a lot of people creating content that is backed by zero journalistic integrity whatsoever or research. And so this is the final piece of our puzzle here. This is the final evolution of our company. Of course, there's much more to come, but what we recently created was Nugg's Cannabis Concierge, and that is a team of true cannabis experts who are available any time of day, nearly any time of day, that you can come onto our site and chat live with. Ask them literally anything you need to know, and you're going to get an answer in 2 or 3 minutes, and the answer is only backed by what we know about cannabis today. Jeff and Boris were talking a lot about this. where we're not going to give you a salesman type pitch around what cannabis can do for you, like these promises of miracles and all that. We're going to tell you how it is, tell you what it could or could not do and what's worked for other people. And frankly, the culmination of the marketplace, of Nugg NuggMD, and of the Cannabis Concierge is, I think, what makes our company special and is presenting the opportunity for us to make a real impact in this industry today. And I say that because we're the only ones facilitating what we call a full-service cannabis experience. So we've taken it upon ourselves to remove the effort and remove the hassle and the work from any of you, anyone here in New York, anyone here in California, to get into the space. Because what we're allowing people to do is be informed from the very first step, then get a recommendation if they need to in your state, and then get a delivery. So we're taking you from either not knowing the first thing about cannabis, or maybe you're an intermediate, to having a delivery and knowing exactly how to use the products at your door in about an hour or so. And what we think that this can do, and what we're seeing already, is that a full-service cannabis experience is going to allow the acceleration of the adoption of cannabis on a local, national, and global level. And this is because when people have that first experience, and it's good, and it's something that they can feel comfortable with, and they actually, get to their best cannabis use case as fast as possible, they tell others about it. They invite friends and family to learn, understand, and ultimately try cannabis. That doesn't happen if you don't have that good first experience. So that's what our company is focused on today, giving people incredible first time, and even if it's not your first time, incredible experiences with cannabis so that we can invite other people into the industry to learn about, try it for themselves, and really just understand what a life-changing plant this can be for so many people. Now, really quickly, by the numbers, before I get into the New York stuff, and I'm really going to try and speed it up here, Nugg NuggMD, we've worked with over 30 doctors who are really passionate about helping people get access to cannabis. We've done over 250,000 medical recommendations for both California and New York patients. 1 out of every 5 new medical patients in New York is coming through Nugg NuggMD right now. And that just goes to show that you don't need big advertising dollars, you don't need paid marketing or anything like that. You just need something that delivers incredible value to people, and growth is going to come from that. We still haven't spent a dime on marketing here in New York, and we just get organic word-of-mouth referrals because people appreciate the service so much. On the Nugg side, we've worked with over 200 dispensaries, give people access to tens of thousands of products, and have facilitated over 350,000 deliveries in California alone. We've grown our company 1,000% year over year, and there's much more to go. Why are we here in New York? Why, the reason I'm up here pretty much, I know that was a long, drawn-out explanation of where Nugg has been and where we are today. And I hope the message was clear, and I can reiterate now that none of this would be possible without our customers and really listening to them and creating a shared journey with them, because we're in a special opportunity here, a special market where, it's coming out of the ashes, where we had this stigma, we had propaganda, we had all these restrictions on it, and now, even at the, Jeff's talking about how it's a Schedule I drug, which of course is a total travesty and needs to be changed. But at the same time, there's a silver lining there, because it means that big corporations and special interest groups have not yet dug their feet into this industry. And it means that the startups, our companies, brands, dispensaries, have a responsibility and frankly an opportunity to shape this industry in the name of the customers that are ultimately going to benefit from it. And I can tell you that if you focus on your customer, profits are ultimately going to come. So why are we here in New York? We nailed down the model in California. We gave people an end-to-end solution to get access to cannabis products and information, and we think we can do it here as well. We introduced Nugg NuggMD last year. Like I said, we're doing 1 out of every 5 new medical patients coming through Nugg NuggMD, and frankly, that's what is our guiding light. We want to give more access to more people, and New York is a really, really special market. Wow, I just realized I've been just totally ignoring this side of the room. I'm really sorry, guys. In any case, more access to more people, and now people are asking, how do we get access to dispensaries? Can we order online? Can we find an easier solution? So naturally, just as we did in California, we're going to introduce the marketplace now here and connect you to reliable dispensaries so that you can actually order delivery to your home. On that note, we want to help dispensaries grow. They have intense restrictions against how they can market to customers here and how they can bring new people into their dispensary. And so by offering them our patient base, which is the largest out of any cannabis company in New York, we're going to fundamentally help them grow, help them reinvest their revenues into better serving their customers and expanding their business. Finally, and also definitely not least in order of importance, is that we're here to advocate for a medical cannabis market. I don't know if a lot of you have heard, but the Department of Health recently announced that they are, yes, I see some hand waving, recently announced that they are in support of legalizing cannabis in New York, which is just like recreational, recreational, not medical, which is just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal, and something we totally endorse and support. But one thing that we need to stress is that the medical community should not be pushed under the rug, and there is a real risk of this happening, and we've seen it in California, and this needs to be taken super seriously, that the people that are suffering from real conditions and using cannabis in a way that fundamentally changes the way that they're able to go about their daily lives, those are the people that need to be put at the top of the totem pole. Those are the people that need to be respected and given the right access to this plant. So we did a little patient study of our own, and this is something Jeff was talking about, and we've submitted this to the Department of Health. We haven't released it yet because we want to get their blessing, but I want to share some stats with you. So we surveyed 2,500 of our customers, of our patients here, exclusively in New York, and a few of the things that really stood out to me. 95% of people strongly agree that they get symptom relief from using cannabis. Only 2% reported any negative consequences at all, and frankly, most of those people were just reporting run-ins with the law. 80% reduced their alcohol use, and 72% reduced their tobacco use. Like, these are real numbers. These are real, you know, obviously it's not any type of a double-blind study. It's our cannabis patients answering these surveys, but these are real significant facts that are totally representative of the rest of the data set we have, so we couldn't be more excited to bring that to the forefront of the conversation. What I want to leave everyone off with here is what I've already discussed, and I hope that other brands and companies are going to take this opportunity seriously, and it's to expand our customer-centric approach to everything that we're doing in the cannabis space, because if we're not going to focus on the end user, on the people, the patients, even the adult use users that are trying to lead a better life and replace different alternative substances for a better use of cannabis, then we're just kidding ourselves. You know, profits are ultimately not the end goal in this industry. We have a real opportunity to let that not be the focus, and I think that we just need to encourage brands, dispensaries, companies like ours, pretty much everyone involved, to focus on the customer and what is valuable to them. Guys, thank you. I know this has been a little bit long-winded. I'd love to take any questions. That's one thing I'll leave off with here, actually, is that we want to hear from you guys. I want to personally hear from you guys. I want to listen to you and hear, you know, what in New York do you think is good? What do you think is bad? How can we improve? How can we communicate with the DOH to better improve your experience? And ultimately, I'd suggest just go onto our website, talk to a concierge member, get some instant information, education about cannabis, and then share that with a friend or family member. Because it starts at the micro level. It starts with all of us as individuals being able to share our own experiences to then attract others into the industry. And if we can make it so that people have the right information and they feel confident and comfortable in the way that they're accessing and then using cannabis, they're going to tell more and more and more people. So please, like, inform yourselves. I know everyone in the room said they're not a beginner, so like we're miles ahead of the rest of the population, and thank you for being here. But continue to do that, continue to have these conversations so we can really speed this thing up. Thanks, guys.